Now I'm recording. Nettie said that he had a little penis, and then said that she wrote him a letter and used a lipstick to like seal it, like she kind of like she kissed it, um, and she gave you permission to use her likeness if you need to. Um, and then we snuck to the chateau to just kind of scope it out the night before, I believe this was. Um, and then we rested. So technically, we've gone through 2 whole days in this campaign. 3 if you count, or maybe even 4 if you count the journey over here. Um, Actually, I think it was a little bit longer than that because we were traveling for a bit. But regardless of that, we snuck over and we saw a like a flying boat, but a small boat, like a little skiff flying. Was that last night or this night?
It was last night. Yeah.
It was last night. We saw a little skiff fly behind the chateau and then fly back and like disappear. And then we snuck over here tonight, and Aaron did some like weird, timey-wimey stuff. Everybody got into the garden, and that is where we start out. We are in the garden. We are to the right of the gate, hiding in a little tree line. The chateau itself has like braziers all over, but there is like spaces of darkness. And then there are like spots where there are like these walkways that lead to the central fountain that from where you're sitting is probably about, I was going to find out how far away that is. It's about 120 feet from where you are at. There is if you're in these bushes directly ahead of you, there is a walkway that goes towards the chateau, and it also breaks off, so it's an L. It goes to a little courtyard on the left with a brazier, and that courtyard goes 3 ways: towards you, away from you, and then straight ahead. Straight ahead goes to the central fountain. And then besides that, you can't really see a whole lot. If you were to jump out of these bushes into the walkway, there would be another patch of bushes and stuff directly ahead of that, about 10 feet. And then the chateau itself is kind of a little bit on the farther side. It's not that far. It's like a couple rounds of dashes away from you. But there are guards walking around the courtyard, creating, you couldn't just rush in. So let me go ahead and put on some Toony Moonies. And do I want that one? I'm still getting used to all this new music I got with Fantasy Plus. Not an advertisement. No, not this one. It's too dark. All right, we're going with this one. So, you guys are in the bushes. You can see the chateau. It is probably about 180 or so feet. It's behind the central fountain a ways. Give me perception checks to see if you can. You're kind of in these bushes now, so you have to kind of reassess. You did some bullshit to get over here and hide yourselves. So I want to see how well you can discern the lay of the land and these guards.
19.
24.
Damien?
18.
You guys did pretty good. That's really good. So you know that there are 2 guards that are probably about 60 feet away from you at the front gate. They are kind of like, they'd have to unlock through, like there's a couple things that they'd have to do to become an issue for you. The nearest guard is outside of the bushes where you are, on the walkway. He's probably about 20 feet away from you, like right now. You could probably hear his steps against the kind of like marble walkway, the clinging and clanging of his boots. There's one other guard. So that guy is to your right, about 20 feet. And then ahead of you, slightly to the left, going towards the central fountain is another guard. He's about 40 feet away from you. So he's actually walking away from you. So you'd be immediately aware of both of them. There's other guards, and it wouldn't be in sight. But you do remember with those perception checks that there were 3 guards on the far side of this courtyard, of this gardens, these outer gardens outside of the chateau, that you were able to see. And there were also guards walking about. There was like, you could actually see from here, probably, as a matter of fact, from the bushes, a few guards that are atop the chateau. There is 2 floors. There is like a balcony coming out of the 2nd floor that kind of overlooks the gardens. And there is a guard with a bow up there. And there is a guard that's like currently walking up the steps to maybe go inside or to switch places with the guard who's on top of the balcony. And there are 2 guards that are like walking back and forth on the lower level on this sort of like raised, calling it a deck is not correct, but I don't know what you would call it, but this raised marble walkway that sits outside of the 1st floor, going like they're just kind of going back and forth, back and forth. So with all of that being said, I probably will need to reiterate some things because we're on a stealth mission. How do you guys want to proceed? Level doesn't have any guns.
No,
So-
I made one.
So
Shitty.
I should have my limit for like a little bit longer because I use like the quick thing, and I'm pretty sure it's like 6 or 7 seconds. I think I would still have it at this point for like a couple seconds more, right? Or
if you like, if she teleported, did you walk? You used your limit to climb along the edge and then up here, and then she teleported them, correct?
yeah, it was super speed, so I don't really know logically how that.
But she didn't super speed you, did she? I thought that you climbed over there with her, or no, her and how? What was the order of getting over there? I thought you climbed over there with her. Like
Yeah,
holding.
in hindsight, yeah. No, you're right. In hindsight, yeah, because like that would definitely take more than 7 seconds. So
I would say that once you got over there and climbed up, you would have lost that would have been your action. So that would have been like 6 seconds.
okay, so I don't have that either. Okay.
I can try to put some of them to sleep.
You can certainly try.
Let's hope nowhere else.
Yeah,
What's the
there's that.
closest like corridor, entrance, window to the group right now?
The closest to you is 180 feet away.
God.
There's a door that is open. There's a guard. There are some gardens in between. Like if you made some fast ashes between guard patrols, you'd be able to get much closer than that. But from your current position, the closest open doorway is 180 feet away. The main central giant door is 200.
What's 20 more feet? Fuck.
I don't hate the idea of taking some of these guards out one by one. If we can maybe, I don't know.
Are we wanting to try and do a Assassin's Creed, knock people out, get in and get out? Because if we fail, it's a fight, and we're gonna get our ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
and
yeah.
then
It's a
become
fight.
wanted.
yeah.
Like,
And then become wanted.
we don't even know what we're looking for other than like proof that
Dude
Yeah, you
did
know that
something.
you're like loosely looking for. You are loosely looking for evidence, but what that
Yeah, but
really like
it's-
means, you're not
it's
100% sure.
Chateau. It's probably massive.
You can see it from where you are, and it is pretty big.
I mean, it would probably take us a solid like hour to search, spread apart, like group split, an hour each, fucking searching different areas to figure out this place, if not more.
There is a guard who's like kind of isolated relatively. Like, you'd have to still, have good rolls and stuff. But there is a guard who's about 20 feet away from you, and he's only about 10 feet outside of the bushes. So you could potentially, like, you could. Do you want some ideas, or do you not want me to give you some ideas?
I think right now.
I could disguise myself as him. What?
We could like kind of Scooby Doo it, where we all we like one by one take out guards, and then like we are the guards now. We like put on their armor.
Yeah, I thought about that. Only problem is Connor's character doesn't do shit with armor.
No, that's true.
And
but like, think about it.
Your character doesn't have a tail, does he?
What'd you say?
Your character, does he have a tail?
No, he doesn't. He has horns and shit, but yeah, no tail.
Yeah, the horns might make it difficult.
Just put a helmet
You have
on.
a name tag. It's like, "Hi, I'm Guard Brian." They're like, "Brian, when the fuck did you grow horns?"
I mean, Darren could dress up as the guards and like take us as prisoners, though.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, like, I feel like she
God,
could get us.
We're gonna fucking. What was his fucking name?
Or I could act like Nettie is there and is like drunk for a booty call or something.
Well, then you got to go alone probably, and I feel like that's not.
Yeah, an entourage of. There's 3 people here, right? Because. What's her name is with.
She is here. That is true. Yes, her character. She took a break tonight. She let me know that she wasn't feeling up to it, but she is technically. That is very true. She is technically, canonically here.
Just
yeah.
Go hide in a potted plant. Something. Okay, if there's a guard that's kind of isolated, how far away is that guard from the group?
You have to go through some bushes, and if you get through those bushes, he's 10 feet away from you.
Okay. Let's start off with step 1 of taking out this guard. If we can do that, great. If we can't, mission scrubbed.
I have guidance if we need that.
Oh,
and some other things that are probably actually going to be pretty helpful.
Evil's looking at Damien like,
yeah.
All right, go knock him out.
Okay, so I have a couple ideas. Like, I mean, I could knock him out. Like, before I go, does he look like a normal soldier? Like, could I probably knock him out in one hit?
Give me an insight.
Oh God! Hopefully, my guy does not get overconfident. It's 16.
He looks like a regular guy. He's a half elf or a human, and he's got the one thing is that you do remember. Somebody remembers. I don't know. I guess it would probably be a Darren, or maybe the captain. I forget who said this to a Darren, but I feel like a Darren's the one who knows this information that Valencio has. Or maybe I think Nettie might have said this. Regardless, somebody told a Darren that Valencio has like effectively like a private military. And these guys are not wearing like BDD equipment. They have he does have like strong armor on. He's wearing like plate armor, like a full helmet and stuff. So, he is well geared. So, it is kind of, he has the visor up so you can see his face. He's like a younger guy. He's maybe in his like early 20s or something. It doesn't look like he's pretty fresh, but it doesn't mean that doesn't mean he can't eat a punch or two. I wouldn't say that like, is it feasible you can knock him out? Yes. But you also think that, it's not guaranteed.
So let me know if I can do this. Like, I have the crusher feat and I can send someone like 5 feet back. I kind of want to use my action to like, as I hit him, to try to like push him into the bush.
So you want to like sneak up on him and like try to sneak behind him and then hit him so that you can push him 5 feet forward. And then you're going to like attempt to try to push him into the tree line.
Yeah, just like, even if I don't knock him out, I want like Leovold ready to like jump on him or like just like hit him with something, and like a Darren too, just like to.
You're just gonna, yeah. Okay. First step is a stealth check.
Okay. Should be good with that. Yeah, I got a dirty 20.
So you creep through the bushes, making no noise. The guy does not hear a twig snap, a leaf rustle as you get to the edge of the bushes, and he's 10 feet away from you. You think he's kind of turned, walking towards this area slowly. So he's turned kind of away from you, like maybe from his peripheral he could see you, but you're also slightly behind him. So you're pretty confident that you'd be able to like kind of creep up around him and maybe get the angle that you're looking for.
Okay. Do I have to roll anything else before I do that, or would I just?
No, that 20 stealth is good enough to creep up behind him as I described.
Okay. Would I then get like advantage on my attack?
You are. I'll give it to you. Yeah, you're hidden, so you would have advantage.
Okay. I got a 23.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do. I did 13 damage.
You sneak up. You come up behind him with your first punch. Crusher. Does it automatically move him, or does he need to make a saving throw?
It automatically moves him.
So you come up behind him. You kind of just like a 5-inch punch as hard as you can to the side of the helmet. He recoils and kind of falls forward. He lands like he's outside of the tree line. Can you bonus action? Because he's still conscious. He kind of yelps, but you don't think it was loud enough to draw attention.
Well, is he in the bush right now? Because I can use my.
He's just outside of he would be just outside of the bushes.
Well, I mean, is Leovold right at the bush? Because I feel like he could just hit him. Right
Leovold would have to make a stealth check to see if he can also creep up on the bushes and not fuck up your stealth check.
I'll just hit him again. Yeah.
Okay, that's smart.
I rolled an 18.
On the second, like that just hits.
Okay.
Very close.
Oh my god! I rolled 2 1s, so I got 6 damage.
That's 19 total.
Yeah.
Do you want to kill this guy?
I mean, I don't want to, but if I have to, I will. But like I
mean, you can like non-lethally. You can deal non-lethal damage and knock him out.
Yeah, I don't know these guys. I'll knock them out. Yeah.
So you hit him in the side of the head with the first punch. He kind of lumbers forward, falls towards the bushes, and then you kind of open palm him in the face, and you hear him gasp and go down unconscious as his body flumps another 5 feet into the bushes, and then you kind of follow behind into the bushes.
I'm also gonna search his body for anything. Like obviously we're gonna use his clothes to try to disguise ourselves, but does he have like any like things that would like give away or help us with like getting into the place?
Give me a quick investigation.
I'm also gonna call over Leovold. I'm gonna be like, Leovold, help me search, and I'm gonna have Leovold roll for that. I'm gonna help him.
I can give you guidance! Somebody!
Stop yelling.
Who's whispering?
Yeah, so Leovold will make his way over to the body and see if there's any important documentation, keys, badges, all that fun jazz.
Yep.
A letter that says, I, Valenciago,
Have murdered tons of people.
Uh-huh.
That'd be really
22.
cool. He does have a little bag on his waist that has 5 gold and 7 silver and a handful of copper, 3 copper, let's call it. And then as you search the rest of his body, he does have a pocket. Effectively, he has like a gambeson underneath his armor that has effectively a pocket, like a slit in the stomach area, and in there are 2 keys.
Any possible marking of like what the key may go to? Like
I would say
cellar?
that I would say at this moment you don't have enough context
Yet.
to
All
tell.
right, we'll take them.
Does it compare it to the key that Nettie gave me?
Oh yeah, I forgot she gave you house keys, right?
We don't know what the keys go to. Forgot to. Didn't ask
Luna.
that.
Huh?
Give me. Well, first tell me, how does Luna approach this chateau?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Let's see. Luna would be extremely clumsy, make tons of noise,
Oh God.
but it's somehow like still very stealthy.
Okay. Do you do anything like like do you use wild shape? Do you there? So let me describe the chateau a little bit for you because you weren't here last session. Here at the front gate, there is a road. So like right here is a part of Grand Rise, but here at the edges, this structure is built off of Grand Rise, so it hangs out over Grand Rise above the blue. So if you're back here and you were to like fall off, you would fall down, and you'd probably hit Grand Rise at some point because it balloons out in the middle. But you're effectively above the blue out here. You're not really on Grand Rise effectively. So besides like the front gate, you would have to skirt around the edge and like jump over the fence, or something possibly more creative to get entrance into the chateau.
Okay. I'll probably then use like a wild shape, like a spider or something super small.
So you are a spider, and you're over on the far side of the chateau, and you're like up in a tree or something, like assessing the lay of the land. While you're doing that, give me a perception check.
Perception. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Why is this not? There we go. I'm trying to see something real quick. Sorry. Why are you busting my balls, game? Dirty 20 is pretty good. There we go. That's what I was trying to see. All right. 1 second. I'm looking for something. Okay, perfect. As you are up in this tree assessing the lay of the land here, you see I think Tailspire is like glitching. This happened to me on my last map too. I got rid of a part of the map and then I couldn't get to come back. And I don't know why that's happening. That's a new problem. That is very great to have. As you're up here in this tree and you're assessing the gardens, you see that there is a guard. Oh, I need to reload this. But there it goes. Hey, I'm going to put you as a little spider. You're right in this tree here, and you can see if there's a guard below you, probably about 15 feet away. There's a guard over here, probably about 40 feet away, walking towards the central fountain. The chateau itself is pretty far away. You're a little spider, so you might feel pretty confident you can just kind of mosey on over there. But as you're assessing it, you see there's another guard over this way, and it happened so quick that you don't really see who did it. But you do see like a shadowed figure come out of the bushes and then like clearly assail the guard. But it happens in maybe like a second or two. And then the guard and this shadowed figure disappear into the bushes from where they came. What do you do?
How far was the person that was like assailed?
150 feet from you.
Okay. I'm gonna take like a diagonal approach. I'll probably stick to the shadows, go into trees and stuff, but still try to like head my way towards the chateau, but then also towards like whatever I saw happening over there. Try to like investigate.
You're a spider, but you still need to give me a stealth check.
Okay.
But it's the DC for it's gonna be pretty low on account of you being a spider.
18.
So you creep down the tree over to another tree, and you kind of get another high vantage point, moving towards the assailant and towards Chateau at the same time. So now you're in this tree just above the central fountain. This guard kind of keeps moving up until he gets to the central fountain. This guy keeps going this way. You take this moment to come down the street, out, across this walkway here, get into these bushes. For some reason, your spider mini doesn't want to work. And then you are in this thicket here. So you just kind of like probably keep moving into this thicket, move a little bit closer to the chateau and get to the edge of this thicket here. And then you can like in the group as you guys are like searching this guy and like you're talking like a deer. It's like, and all of you guys give me a stealth check.
A stealth check?
Yeah.
Damien got a 15.
Alright, I'm gonna. 30-20.
Okay.
13.
Do you want to re-roll that and add the d4?
That's up to you.
Why don't you go ahead and re-roll that and add a d4?
That's definitely better. 19.
Okay. Damien, what'd you get?
I rolled a 15.
So I'm going to keep the 20 for Luna. So Luna, you can't hear, pretty muffled. There are no guards around to also hear them, fortunately. You're not sure if they would, but with your like already kind of aware of the fact there's somebody over on this side of the garden here, you're really focusing on that. You can hear some like muffled movement, a little bit of rustling of the bush that's like really happens very quickly and then dies down. You can tell there's definitely a group of people that, I mean, they just assailed this guard, so they're not aligned with Valencio. You're muted, by the way, if you're talking, Tom.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep on that same track, being stealthy, going along the trees, and kind of seeing if, like, what kind of people they are before I, like, even try to, like, introduce myself or pop out of my wild shape.
So is it safe for me to assume that you're going to stay in these trees for now, and you're just going to keep moving towards the chateau and kind of keep an eye over there to see if you can, like, catch a quick glance?
Yeah, one eye on the chateau and then the other one lazily on the other. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so you move across this walkway to these bushes here, and now you're like close to the chateau itself. Let me drop a couple more guards on the chateau because they're supposed to be up there.
Once I get there, can I make a perception check for entry points?
You could now from your vantage point.
There's no need to put more guards. Okay, we're good.
There's some more guards canonically. I'm so sorry.
Can they not be canonically?
No, it's too late.
Maybe they're on strike, bro.
In my headcanon, there's not that. Those guards aren't there.
Yeah, they don't exist.
They're on strike. They're not getting paid enough.
They went to go get a drink at the bar.
I played this one shot, and I actually think if I ever do a one shot, I would love to do this. Each player during the one shot got to make like one statement like that, and it'd be true.
All the power.
Yeah, so like it was a animal themed game. I love the game, and it's an indie game made by this guy that I know, and it was. I was playing a raccoon, like this, like kind of like cracked out James Bond raccoon, and
cracked out James Bond just got me.
and there was a raccoon ban, so I made like the statement that all of the raccoons that were working at this estate that we were like, it was like a heist mission. So I made the statement that all of the other raccoons that were working at this estate were my cousins, and it was just like, it was just true because he gave us the power to do that. I thought that was really fun. Well, I'm not giving you that power now, unfortunately,
I'm
but
just about to ask.
maybe in the future.
What?
So the main group, you guys managed to knock out this kid, take his money, take his keys. He is wearing a set of guard armor that has like a visor on it, so you could
Perfect,
at
I
least
didn't take
it would
his
be a
fucking-
potential disguise.
What type of armor is it? Because that depends.
It's heavy armor. It's plate armor.
Fuck. Okay, that's gonna take like 10 minutes to put on.
Yeah, you have to don that shit.
Yeah.
So like everybody's gonna have to dress you.
All right. Let's do it. I'm gonna be really slow, by the way. I don't
So you
want to
start
have.
getting
Well,
donned in this heavy armor.
As he does that, I'm gonna like try to tie up the guy and also like put something over his mouth so he can't make any noise. Like if he
For
wakes
sure.
up.
He's gonna be knocked out for a little bit of time, but you tie him like as far into the back of the garden as you can, and put a muffle. You muffle his voice somehow. You gag him. You take that 10 minutes. You don that heavy armor. What is your guys' next move?
Should I disguise myself like a guard too?
I feel like I'm the only one who can't disguise themselves.
I mean, I can walk around freely for a little bit, but as long as you all stay like in bushes near me, maybe I
The
can.
bard is going to turn invisible because she did that in the past. That's canonically a thing that she does.
Yes, it is.
So she's invisible, and now I don't got to worry about her anymore.
Well, she could have did that to me. That sucks. Well, it looks like I'm
Actually,
going
in-
for bush.
Hold on, that's a good question. Hold on. I forget. Does invisibility affect two people? The greater.
You have to cast at a higher level.
Yeah, I don't know if she has a third level spell
She
slot.
doesn't have third level spell
No.
slot.
Because
No, we're not level 5.
5th level.
And
Yeah,
it's
no.
concentration, so yeah, she can't do it to Pam.
I
Okay,
mean, she
just
could
give us 2 levels.
technically do it to you, and then she could do disguise self, because disguise self is in concentration.
Could she do it to herself and then do disguise self on him?
I think you can only do disguise self on yourself. Thus,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's called disguise self. That was a stupid thing to
Not
say.
disguise others.
Yeah, I was just dumb. Just pretend that didn't happen. I mean, I would be okay with that being she could disguise herself as a guard and then she can make him invisible. Damien, I'm okay with that.
I mean, if you're willing to role player, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Well, she's just a guard. Like I can just be like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So you're invisible. I'm okay with that. And then so Leovold's guard, she's a guard. Is it Darren also a guard?
yeah. So
Okay.
she's not gonna pass up a chance to disguise herself as somebody else now.
Okay, so what are your guys's what's your move then? You have 3 guards and an invisible Damien.
We have 3 guards, and we don't know the rotation.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Should I be ready, Dad?
I could try to distract people and have you guys be able to like have like a free reign in, just like the walk
I
through.
mean, we have a free reign in right now, more or less.
Yeah.
We would just have to like talk the talk and literally walk the walk. So my problem is we don't know the rotation, and this guy was just coming over here. We don't know where he goes next or who he's supposed to relieve. So if we start wandering around, we got to make a good fucking excuse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I could lead the way and like have like some rocks on me or something and like try to distract the guards in front of us so that maybe we don't even have to Like
We're gonna have to. We stick out like a sore thumb now.
Yeah, it's ain't Skyrim. You can't do.
Like her armor isn't real. Mine is. And
That's
it's
true.
too fucking heavy for me.
Should I look like Nettie instead?
That wouldn't be a terrible idea. I'd just be escorting you to Manor and be your personal escort while on the grounds. Damien could just stick by as long as there's not no like magic BS that he has in his mansion. We should be good.
Okay, I'll do that.
So you turn into Nettie, and then the three of you, invisible Damien, come out of the bushes.
Yeah, we're the Three Stooges.
So Luna, you do see eventually these people come out, and you see two guards and one very pretty, like a high elven woman, with kind of like platinum, like a very like striking kind of bob haircut, come out of the bushes. The half woman is in this like pristine, very nice, kind of like a purple pink robe with like gold inlay. The three of them start. How do you guys approach the manor? Do you just kind of like go right for it? With confidence.
I would follow behind the other two. I think is Nettie a little bit, like acting like they're maybe like escorting me.
Is anybody coming behind them or like going to spot them soon?
They definitely, depending on how they approach, they're definitely they're going to be spotted at some point for sure.
Our best plan right now is hiding in plain sight.
Did I get us to see an opening with that perception check?
The 20
No, I rolled a 15
earlier,
perception.
or the one for the door for like looking for an entryway.
Mhm.
As far as entryways go, there are like very big open air windows that are all open. As for a spider, there's a ton of ways to get inside of this building.
You said there was one way or any way for them to get in?
There's a ton of windows that are just open that you'd be able to just climb right into as a spider.
Okay.
And there are these big doors on the sides. The main entryway is closed, but there are these side doors that are currently open. They have a guard out front of them, but that's not as big of an issue for a spider. If you wanted to really be sneaky, you could sneak up to the second or third floor, and there's windows up there as well that are open.
Okay. I think I'm going to maintain some distance, not to raise suspicion that there's this like spider following them. But I'm just going to kind of follow and just observe them, see what they do.
So as you guys come out of the bushes, you start walking. There is a guard that is walking. You guys are right here. And there's a guard that has like just kind of turned the corner and is walking towards the fountain. You could probably just walk right past him to this walkway and then go down this path. But at some point during this, you are going to run into a guard. There's just like no way about it. Just how soon do you want to do it?
Let's just postpone it as much as possible. Closer we get to the fucking house,
You
the
guys
better.
You guys walk past this guy, and he doesn't even really like pay attention. You do see this guard. There's a guard down here at this walkway. He definitely sees you, and he is like walking towards the manor. He doesn't stop and like start approaching you or ask you any questions. As you guys come around this walkway here, there's a guard posted at the top of the central platform where the fountain is. And as you round the corner, he does say, You see him kind of like put a hand up and kind of squint, and then he says, "Stop! Who are you? What's your business?"
Darren's gonna try to channel Nutty as much as she can. Be like, darling, don't worry about it. I'm here to visit. I have a key. These friendly gentlemen are just escorting me up.
He takes a step down, and he says, I don't recognize you. Are you a friend of Valencio's?
You could say friend.
He comes down.
I've been away for a while.
He comes down. He gets on your level, and you guys are looking like you're visored and everything. And he says, "You have a key? Do you mind if I see it?"
Yeah. I'll take the key out.
He looks at the key, looks at you, says, "Very well. Be safe. Let me know if you need anything." Then he walks back up onto the platform, out of your way.
Darren's internally panicking, but she's holding it together. She's like, I can't.
Luna, they walk. You're up in this tree, and they walk by you, and they have that interaction with the guard. You're like just a little spider. At some point, you think maybe you could like hitch a ride.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do that. I'll just hitch a ride, and hopefully they don't squish me.
You jump down and land on one of the guards. The fake guards came out of the bushes. Kind of get into like a fold of the armor and just kind of nestle down in there. You can feel the clinking of the very like awkward, heavy movement as you guys move. Where do you go? You go up to the main door, and there's a guard there. He saw you interact with that guard, and he saw you like be allowed up here. You don't know which door this key is for. You also don't know if this door is locked. What do you guys do?
Can I quickly pull out one of the 2 keys I have and test it?
Yeah. There are 2 keys. One of them is this like a kind of a copper, just pretty plain. This is not, it's probably brass, like this little brass key. It's got 2 teeth on it, kind of wide. They go down in like a rectangle, and they kind of bulk out the bottom. And there's another key that is silver with 3 teeth, one like little tooth and like a medium-sized tooth and a bigger tooth.
I'm going to try the silver one.
You put it into the main door, turn it, and it does in fact release the main door.
Okay. I was like, silver has to be more important than this copper piece of shit. More goes to his trunk.
You open the main door, and the 3 of you enter into this main hallway. You're in like this very large foyer, and then the hallway goes down to either side. And on either end of this hallway, there are fireplaces that are roaring, and there's like big paintings above them. And then there's like a lounge. And there are like actually some people that are just like sitting around. There are 2 guards in the very front of both the hallways, and then the very back by the fireplaces. And then there are a handful of people in here. You do see an Aarakocra who's in this like really fine, bright green, silken kind of gown over on the left side, talking to a drow woman and a tiefling man. And then on the right side, you see 2 dwarves and a human woman that are talking, sitting around. They're like on this couch, this big velvet red couch. But I don't know if you actually know what Valencio looks like, but you don't think any of these people are Valencio. They don't seem to be him. I feel like you can kind of like make up a picture in your head of what Valencio looks like, and all these people match that to any degree. directly ahead of you in this foyer, there is 2 staircases that go up to the second floor. There's like this really regal red carpet that comes down the steps to the main hallway foyer area. It has like gold embroidery and these like these little like tassels coming off of the edges, and that breaks down to either hallway and like runs down the full length. It's like one big carpet that's like very elaborately conjoined so that it like never stops flowing. And you do see that there are some doors in the hallway that go off to the sides, like deeper into the chateau, but they are closed at the moment. And then at the top of this wraparound stair, there's like a little overhang, like a kind of like a little like an observation balcony sort of thing, and there is a guard up there as well.
There's not a high chance of this, but is there anybody that I recognize and that I think Nettie should know?
Probably not, but I'll give you a history check.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a dirty 20.
It's not bad. On the left side. Now you don't actually like recognize any of these people. This is like almost an insight check. But when you came in, you saw the drow woman kind of turn her head and see you guys, and she gave you a look that it was either like not. It was either familiarity or disdain. Hard to tell. But she did seem to know you, and she's dressed in like this really nice kind of like silken, almost see-through, like gray-black gown, and she looks kind of like high class. You think maybe if you walked up to her and just really pretend to be Nettie and like didn't give away that you don't know her name, maybe she knows Nettie, but you do not know her by name at least.
Is she continuing like to look?
She gave you like one as you walked in. The door was opened. She looked back. She kind of like broke conversation for a moment. Gave you this look. Kind of slanted her eyes at you, and there was like a bit of like it was a smile or a smirk. Hard to tell. Definitely a no full. Like there's definitely something. She definitely appeared to have some sort of knowledge of Nettie. And then she looked away and returned to her conversation with the Aarakocra.
All right. Go quietly. Try to quietly as possible. Not even necessarily like.
Leo would like to go check one of these doors that appear closed to see if it's locked.
On the side hallways.
Yep.
There are 3 doors on either side. The first door, they all look pretty much identical. The door in the middle is larger than the other 2 doors.
As much as I would love to go through the larger door, I feel like that's just going like into a chamber that there's important people behind. I want to avoid people. So I'm just going to go to one of the smaller doors on the left.
Go on the left. You go on the first small door, just trying to be like as quick as possible. The third door is in the back, so it's pretty close to that group of people there: Crocra, the Drow, the Tiefling. So you just go to the first door and push on it. It opens, goes inward, and you go into a kitchen. You walk in. There's 2 people inside. There's a half-orc and a halfling. The halfling he's like tending to some barrels that are on the wall. He's doing something to them. You don't really know what. And he's kind of muttering to himself. And the half orc is making, it looks like he's just like dicing vegetables and greens to make salads. They don't
Question.
really.
Would I know what they're doing?
Would you know what they're doing? The halfling?
I mean, this whole scenario for Leovold is very familiar. He's just wearing a different costume, technically.
As far as so you want to know if you know what the halfling with the barrels is doing?
I mean, I just want to know if it looks like if Leovold would know subconscious, like, oh, he's taking inventory or he's trying to grab something.
It looks like he is maybe taking inventory, or he might be like testing. He has some sort of device that he is currently inserted into one of the kegs. There's like a metal ring, and he's pushed something into it, and it looks like some of the wine or whatever liquid contents are inside have like come out into this like kind of like a syringe, and he's looking at it and he's writing something down and muttering to himself. It looks like maybe he's testing something about the wine.
Okay. Open it. Look. Not the fucking room I need. And he quickly
It goes
closes
back.
it.
There's like steel kind of there's like metal tables on the left side where the half orc is, and there are a bunch of racks behind him with just like bags of stuff. And then on the right side, there are all these. There's a ton of just barrels against the right wall, and then there's like kind of a little like alleyway between the two, and directly down that alleyway there's another door.
Nope, not gonna risk that going to a pantry or something. So he'll just close the door and like go to the next one. That's what he's doing. I don't know what everyone else is. He's like trying to find another way quickly.
Damien, you're invisible.
Yeah, I've just been following behind him.
Pick a door, bro. You can open it.
Okay, yeah, I'll open one of the doors then.
Yours
So
is easy. The wind.
Leovold disappeared behind the first small door on the left. Darren, what are you doing? You see Leovold go off and start like scrounging.
I think I'm going to like just act like I'm waiting and like just purposely ignore everybody else. Like they're not even worth my attention. That's what I'm trying to like channel Nettie as best as Darren can, and is just going to be like bored and waiting for
So he's kind of
guard.
standing in like. So you just kind of stand in like the foyer,
Mm-hmm.
and just wait for something to happen to you. Effectively.
Yeah, at least for a little bit, like while they're going through the doors of like figuring if the one person like knows Nettie, then at some point like might approach her or maybe is expecting her to approach and is maybe going to get a reaction if she doesn't. And so just like kind of trying to read the room, I guess, for a little bit.
Okay.
And just see if they seem to find a path to go.
Damien. You see a Darren, she's like just kind of chilling, waiting to see if anybody recognizes her, if anybody approaches her, if anything happens to Nettie in this situation, not necessarily to a Darren. You go off and open a second door. So on the left side, he went into a room. You would have seen him disappear in there, but he would have opened it. You would have seen beyond the door for a moment that there's like a kitchen back there. There's the bigger door, and there's a third smaller door further down. And there is the second floor as well. And you do have an hour of invisibility, unless something happens and she loses concentration.
Okay. So did I see where Leovold went to as well?
Yes, you saw him go behind the first small door into what was effectively a kitchen.
Okay. So Nettie's is probably gonna be in trouble though, right? Like, was it the last thing that we saw? Because I did want to make sure that she's okay, and I don't want to just like leave her. So that's like my only worry. But so I
That
might want to
Nettie?
just follow Nettie. Yeah.
There's no reason to think that she's necessarily in trouble. Nobody's like done anything to her, right? She's just standing there
Okay.
trying to appear bored.
Then I guess I'll just go through the kitchen then and just like look around. But I mean, there's really nothing in the area I'm at, I guess. But I'll just search.
You could go upstairs. There's the second larger door, and there's a third smaller door. And then on the right side, there are 3 doors as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go in the larger one then.
You go down the hallway a little bit, crack open the bigger door, kind of slip through it. You don't want to like fling this thing open and draw attention to the fact that there's an invisible person running around. Crack that door open, slip inside, and you find yourself in like a really big